For the push-pull power amplifier circuit that is shown here, we can see that it's implemented using one op-amp, 3 diodes, and 4 bipolar junction transistor BJT, 2 of them, as you can see here, in the form of a Darlington pair. So this is a N-type Darlington pair, and then we have a PNP and an NPN in the form of a Sziklai pair. So these two guys are from the Darlington family, but this specific topology or format is referred to as Sziklai pair. Okay, so the question is how this circuit is working as a power amplifier, as a push-pull power amplifier, and the expectation is we should be able to deliver to this very small load, like 5 ohm, could be a speaker. We want to deliver a power of 10 watt to this load, and the load itself is 5 ohm, and we are making the assumption that, a practical assumption, that beta of all the BJTs or HFE is just a very practical value of 33. So that's our assumption. Okay, so we want to find the 10 volt swing that we have here. So how do we get that, given that we have a load of 5 ohm and then we have the power of a 10 watt delivery? So let's just quickly calculate. We have the power, which should be equal to 1/2 the maximum voltage squared divided by the load, and as a result we have 10 equal to 1/2. The unknown is, of course, the voltage that we want to show. It's going to be 10 divide by squared divide by 5, which obviously translate to VL max is equal to 10 volt as expected here. Okay, so what is the corresponding max current that is flowing through the circuit at the peak? So this sinusoid looks like this sinusoid is this way. At the peak of 10 volt, we have a maximum current that is flowing like this through the circuit. So what is that current? This current that is flowing through this, what is that max current? The max current obviously for the load is, so I load max is equal to V load max divided by RL, so 10 volt divided by 5 ohm. That will give us obviously 2 amp. So maximum or peak value of the sinusoidal current for the load is correspondingly at 2 amp. It's a resistive one, so the current and voltage are co-phased. So 2 amp and -2 amp. Okay, so at 2 amp we have in the positive cycle we have this pair on and we have the Sziklai pair off. And as a result the current is flowing this way through the circuit. So this current is 2 amp max, and it's going through the emitter of transistor, and of course approximately through the collector as well. Then we have cascade of the Darlington pair, so effectively the current is reduced a factor of beta here and another factor of beta. Therefore the current of base here is beta squared less than the current of the emitter or collector, so as expected. So I can say the current of base of transistor is equal to the current of collector for the Darlington pair divided by beta square. So in this case is 2 amp or emitter, and then divide by beta square. We make the assumption, let's make the assumption that beta is 32. So 32 to the power 2 translate to roughly 2 to the power 2 divided by roughly 1000. So effectively we are talking about maximum the base current of 2 milliamp. So this base current max, what we found is the max, is 2 milliamp. The diodes, as a practical diode, for at least the minimum amount of current that they need to go through so that they turn on, we need 1 milliamp. So I'm going to write it here. I diode on minimum is 1 milliamp. So we need 1 milliamp this way. And we have maximum 2 milliamp here. So as a result, in that scenario, the current that is going through R1 has to be 3 milliamp. And the voltage drop is, let's also examine that. We have 10 volt at the peak. We have 10 volt across resistor. So the voltage here is 10 volt. Then we have 2 amp going through the 0.3 ohm. So that results in a plus minus 0.6 volt drop. Then we have a VBE and a VBE, each of them 0.7 volt for the Q1 and Q2. And as a result, we have additional, let me change the color. So we have additional 1.4 volt drop across the VBE of the two transistor. So 1.4 plus 0.6 plus 10 gives us the voltage here, which translate to 12 volt. And at the same time, the supply voltage is 15 volt appear here. So across this resistor R1 that we are supposed to find its value, we have 15 volt on top, 12 volt on the other side of the resistor. So and there is the 3 milliamp that is flowing through this R1. So I can find R1 is equal to 15 minus, I'm going to write it here. So we found 2 times 0.7 volt for the VBE for the BJT transistors plus 0.3 ohm times the 2 amp, and then plus 10 volt max voltage swing at the output, and then divide by the 3 milliamp that is supposed to go through this R1 resistor. So as a result, the R1 resistor becomes 1 kilo ohm. Symmetrically, we set R1 equal to 1 kilo ohm here, and also at the bottom of the circuit 1 kilo ohm. Okay, so we found 1 kilo ohm, the value of these resistors, and then of course we have, I'm going to remove this one. So we have 1 milliamp going this way during the nominal bias, and 0.7 volt, 0.7 volt, 0.7 volt. We can find the maximum current that the op-amp is providing as well, because 1 milliamp is coming this way. But at the same time, if here we have 12 volt, at this node, because of 2 VBE drop of 2 V on drop of the diodes, we have 12 minus 1.4, which gives us 10.6 volt here, and then another 0.7 drop on top of that, reduce the 10.6 to 9.9 here. So we have 9.9 volt here, and this pair is off. The Sziklai pair is off. We are in the positive swing at the output. This 9.9 volt is on one side of resistor R1. On the other side, we have negative 15 volt, the negative supply of the circuit. We make the assumption that op-amp is in linear operation because it's properly biased, and as you can see, there's a negative feedback connected from input of op-amp to the output. So negative feedback is active, therefore op-amp is operational and properly in linear region. Okay, so 9.9, negative 15 across R1. So how can we find the current going through R1 in this process, bottom R1? So this current that I need to find, which I changed the color so that it's clear which one I'm trying to find, this current is, let's name it as current IX. So IX is equal to 9.9 minus 15 divided by 1 kilo ohm R1, which becomes roughly 25 volt, roughly, divided by 1 kilo ohm. So roughly 25 milliamp. And 1 milliamp is coming from top, IX is 25. So therefore, the maximum current that comes out of the op-amp is 24 milliamp. If you are selecting an op-amp, practical op-amp for this circuit, it needs to be able to provide at least a max current of 24 milliamp. So I would even go with higher than that for the, let's say, the nominal max current that the op-amp can provide, either sink or source. Now the last piece of puzzle is about R2 and R3. We can see that the swing at the input is just a very small swing of 0.2. So this sinusoidal oscillation at the input is plus 200 millivolt and minus 200 millivolt. And we want effectively to see that a small oscillation, sinusoidal oscillation, gets to a very large one at the output, like plus minus 10 as I showed here. So how's that going to work? We need proper setup for resistors R2 and R3 to enable us for that, because those are the ones that actually provide the gain in this circuit. So let me shift this. I'm going to shift this to here, and okay, here is the gain. Op amp obviously a non-inverting amplifier because the input is connected, V in is connected to positive terminal, and then there is this simple voltage division from output via R2 and R3. So effectively the format is like this: plus minus V in sinusoidal oscillation, and then we have this resistor R, this resistor here R2, and then this resistor here R1 connected to ground, and here is V out effectively. So this is a non-inverting topology. V out is simply 1 plus R, R2 and R3. So 1 plus R2 over R3 times V in. So V out is supposed to be 10 volt, and V in is given to us 0.2 volt. Obviously this translates to 1 plus R2 over R3 being equal to 50, which means R2 should be 49 times R3. For example, we can select, in this circuit we can select R3 to be, for instance, 1 kilo ohm, and R2 to be naturally as a result 49 kilo ohm. So I'm going to shift this so that it's a little bit more space here. Alright, so I'm going to shift this a little bit here, this side, so that I can write 49 kilo ohm. 49 kilo ohm. So those are practical choices for the value of R2 and R3, and they are large enough not to incur a sizable current, so we can effectively say the current here is negligible compared to the size of the current on the order of amp or 2 amp that is going over there to the load. So these values are reasonable in terms of being large enough for a practical design and also satisfying this requirement that we just found here. So effectively in this design we found the value of the R1, R2, R3 resistors. Therefore this push-pull power amplifier is able to provide roughly a gain of 50 at the same voltage-wise, at the same time, without drawing any current from input, which could be a very weak source. It can provide on the order of maximum plus minus 2 amp to a very small load of 5 ohm, so that it supports delivery of power of 10 watt to the output. I hope that this push-pull power amplifier example is helpful in terms of showing how a combination of op amp and Darlington pair and Sziklai pair can be used to both amplify and also provide a large current to a load, amplify the voltage swing. Thanks for watching.